So we are solving data structure and algorithm problems which are asked in interview. So our question for today is sum of max and min. And before I start this question, I just want to tell you that if you want to read about this question in detail in English, Hindi, or Hinglish, which is a combination of English and Hindi, the link will be provided in the description. You can go ahead and read about this code in a detailed way. And if you want to watch a Hindi video for same code, if you are not comfortable in English, and if you want to watch a Hindi video, me explaining this code in a Hindi, so the link for that will be also in the description. So go ahead and check it out and enjoy. So let's start our question. So our question states that and again, I'm using pen tab. I'm not very good with it, but I will go ahead with it, and but just bear with me, and I will make this thing work for me. Okay, so what the question says that we have an array. Let's say we have an array of size 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have an array of size n, and in our case n is of 5, and we have an element. Let's say here we have a 6, then we have 1, then we have 2, then we have 3, and then we have 4. So the question states that find the sum of maximum and the minimum. So find the sum of the maximum element, the greatest element in our array. So in our case, the maximum element is 6. So we have to find 6 and the minimum element. The sum is plus 1, and we have to return this, like the sum of maximum and minimum. Let me make one more example. So let's say we have a array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say of 6. I will say 1, 3, 8, 10, 4, 3, 1. So what we have to do, we have to go through this whole array and find the maximum element. In our case, this is the maximum element, the greatest element in our array, 10, and the minimum. What is the minimum element? So as I can say, see, this is 1. So we have to give this. I hope this is clear. So the size of this array is n, and in our case what it is, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the array of size 6, and if the array is of n is of size 100, then it will be 100. So I hope this is clear. Okay, don't get too crazy with it. Okay, so I will go ahead and set the cursor, and okay, wait, let's move it. I have to learn how to use it because this will drive me crazy if I use it like this. Okay, so we have we so what we have to understand that we have to return an integer. Okay, we are given an array. Okay, and we are given an array size, and what we have seen that we have to we have to take out the max of an array and a min of an array, maximum and minimum element of an array. So if you have to find a maximum value, what we do, like what I do and what you have to do, obviously how it is done, you can say max and you can say int min. What int min will do, it will give you a max value, and for min, what min will do, what you have to do is int max. So this int min will give you a maximum value, and int max will give you a minimum value. There is a reason behind it, but that involves stack and heap. When we will do stack and heap, I will tell you why we are getting this, because in heap we use this very often. So let's make our min and max. So let's go ahead and let's say int, because obviously the maximum element is type integer. So we will say max is equal to int and min, and the minimum int is int min is equals to int uh, int underscore max. So okay, typo. So we got this. So this will store the maximum value and this will store the minimum value from an array. But how we can find what is a minimum array and what is the max element and what is a min element? So what we have to do is we have to go through the array like this, and this. Let's say we found the max here of 10, then we will store this into max, and let's say we go ahead and found the minimum element here, let's say 1, then we will store it into min. So what we are doing, we are going one by one by one, what and basically we are using a for loop here, right? Because how our for loop will work, so it will start from index 0, and it will go to index the size of an array, which is array dot size -1, but it is given here, so this, and it will start from 0, and every time it will move it will plus plus, and I will say this pointer is I. So I will go from 0 to n, and every time it will move it will add one number into it or one index into it, so it will go ahead and say plus plus. Okay, so let's go through our array. Let me erase this because this is looking very weird. Okay, so for not in caps, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, because that's the size of our array, and I will go and set I plus plus, and what will do, every time we will do what? So every time we will go ahead array I, we will check. Let me explain this part. Okay, every time we will go to ith index. Okay, uh, so let's say we start from here, and it is 2, right? And somewhere here we have 10. Tick. So array at 0th index, array I initially means array 0, then after 1 plus plus it will mean array 1, then after 1 plus plus it will mean array 2. So you can say 0 from 0, then 1 here, then 2 here, and so on. This is how. So this is an element I at ith position. So let's say first time we will check array I, which is in this case 2, and we will check that it is greater than max or not. So currently in our max we have nothing, so obviously it is greater than max. So right now, 2 is greater than 0, so we will say okay, if 2 is greater than 0, then max is equals to 2, right? So if 2 is greater than 0, then max is 2. Then we will go ahead and add. Then we will keep on checking. Let's say somewhere here we have 5. Okay, we have 5 here. And we went and check here. Here we had 1. So we will not change because 2 is obviously greater than 1. So max will be true. 2, 2 is greater than 1. So max is 2. But when it will come here, it will check 2 is greater than 5. No, 2 is not greater than 5. So max now will get updated and it will be 5. And then after this, if here we have our max element 10, then max will update as 10. I hope that is clear. So we are applying this condition here, that check whether int I, check whether int I is greater than our max. Let me make this small because it is very daunting for me. So okay, then this will be max. If that's the case, what we are doing, we are updating max. So we are updating max, then max is equals to array I. Okay, so same we will do for min, but for min we will check whether the element I is less than min. So let me explain that. So we will go ahead and say if array I, the element I is less than min. So let me explain this part. So array I is less than min. Let's say we have an array here and we have 1 2 3 4 5. Let's say 2 1 3 5. So array I first will be 2 and min will get updated. No, but min will store the 0th index, like not 0th index. Initial value of min is 0. So 2 is less than 0. No, 2 is not less than 0. So it will hold 0 only, because we don't have to change this, because we are finding a minimum element here, element of an array here. Then we will go ahead and say 1 is less than 0. Now 1 is not less than 0. But what you have to understand, that currently this is holding the maximum of an array, so the max value of an array. So first we will check, okay, if array I is less than minimum, then it will go ahead and update. Let's say if here it is 5 and here it is 1, or let's say if here it is 2 and it is less than 1. So 1 is less than obviously 2, so min will get updated as 1. Then let's say here it is 0 and we will check from 1, so it will check and say, okay, 1 is less than 0, so min is 0. So that's how min will work. Okay, this is getting frustrating. Okay, so if that's the case, then we will say min. Okay, same same, but for min is equals to, if it is less than array. Okay, so we have search for max element, we have search for min element. Okay, now what we have to do, we got our max element, we got our min element, all we have to do is add. So it's easy, like let's go ahead and come out of our loop and let's say int sum is equals to, what we have to add, we have to add max and min, which we found out above. So this will give us sum, and after that what we have to do is just see out sum uh, and not this, because this will treat it as a string, and return C. Let's run this. Okay, let's see. Test case are failing. So we can just say return sum, because we are sum, because that's what we want. We want an int, right? Okay, now you can see all the test cases are running. That's how you can solve sum of max and min. So what we have done, we have taken a max and a min, then we have checked for a max element in array I, and then we have checked for minimum element in array I, and we have added the minimum and maximum and min, and we have returned this one. So that's how you do this. Yeah, if you have to read about this and if you really want to learn about this code step by step, the documentation is in English, Hindi, and Hinglish. In description there would be a link. There is a link where you can find it, and if you want to watch the same video, the explanation of this code in Hindi, the link would be in the description. So go ahead and check it out, and I will see you in a bit.